right, so we are here with the divisional round picks. It's so crazy. We have divisional, championship, and then Super Bowl, and that's it. I am not covering the Pro Bowl. I don't really care about the Pro Bowl. It's not fun to watch. I might not even watch it. So we have three important rounds left. And this is the best of the best, the top 8 teams in the NFL. Next week we're going to get the top 4, and then we're going to get the final 2 in 2 weeks after that. So we're just going to jump right in, and just like last time, I have NFC on the left-hand side of the screen. I have AFC on the right-hand side. I know Tennessee and the Bengals game is first, but we're going to start with the Niners and Packers game first, just because this is how I'm doing it, for the NFC on the left, AFC on the right. So for the first game here, I am picking the Packers to win. Now, I said last week, and I've said the previous week, I said the Niners are the hottest team coming into the playoffs. I said, they had some weird games, and then they've started getting better and better and better, and they've, looked better coming into the playoffs. And that's why I'm like, they're just going to manhandle the Cowboys. They're going to take care of business, and then they're going to go on from there, and we're going to see who they play in the divisional round. It was a, 90% chances they play the Packers unless the Eagles somehow beat the Bucks, but obviously that didn't happen. So, obviously the Niners do play the Packers. I just think that with, all these additions on offense and defense coming back, I think there's, a chance that, Jimmy G doesn't look well. He didn't play great. I think, was it two interceptions last week against the Cowboys? No touchdowns at all for him. I believe was the stat. So, if the game's in Jimmy G's hands, then you worry a little bit as to, what they can do. And I think that, yes, Elijah Mitchell's good, but I think the Packers are going to figure out a way to stop the run game, and they're going to try to put the game into Jimmy G's hands, at least on defense, and obviously on offense, you're going to have, Rodgers. I think with, Bosa potentially being out, again, we don't know anything. I think he's supposed to try to practice today. I don't think there was any guarantee if he was going to go this week or today or not, but I think he was going to try today. Fred Warner being injured, I think there's a better possibility he plays than Bosa. So I think there's potential that, this running game, yes, Cowboys can run too well against the Niners. I forget. I think Zeke had like 70 yards, maybe not even 70. I don't remember how many yards he had. I just know it wasn't too good. I don't remember Pollard having really a day either. So I think, you're going to be in teen to single-digit degree weather. The Niners have never played in any weather below 40 degrees. So this is 30 degrees under that. This is going to be a cold game. So I think, by the second half, the Packers are going to figure out that, hey, we can pound the rock with A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones. They're freezing, we're freezing, but we got some running backs here that know how to pound the rock. And I think that's what's going to end up winning the Packers the game, is the second half and that run game. So that's why I'm picking the Niners. I know it's a long roundabout way, but I just think that, with the potential of, stars being out for the Niners, Packers getting stars back, and then again, the second half grind, I think that the Packers should be able to win this game. They might just rely on Aaron Rodgers, give the ball to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and it's just automatic. Automatic touchdown, there you go. Next game here, Bengals Titans. No one is talking about the Titans, and it's disrespectful as heck. I guess I could have said something else. Anyway, I did my rankings, was it 2 weeks ago now? I think it's when I recorded it. I don't know. I might have put it up like a week and a half ago. The Titans were number 2 on my list. Now, I had both of the teams that had a bye as the 1 and 2 spots, but the Titans, you're getting Derrick Henry back. That's a game changer. This Derrick Henry is one of the best, dare I say, all-time running backs. Dare I say, I think I might stand by that statement. And you're getting him back. He had 2 weeks to rest up. You had AJ Brown, I believe, is supposed to come back. I think Julio has a chance to come back. I think there was someone else on offense that I can't remember. I think was supposed to come back. You got a Titans defense that I think is underrated. I think they're a very good defense. At the beginning of the year, I said, I don't trust this Titans defense. I think they're a good defense now as the year came down and the regular season winded down, and now we're heading into the playoffs here. I think they have a good defense. No one is talking about the Titans, despite them having the 1 seed. It's always Buffalo, Kansas City. If Buffalo beats Kansas City, well, again, we'll talk about this later, and if Titans beats the Bengals, Buffalo got Jonathan Taylor run down their throat. They could not stop Jonathan Taylor. And Jonathan Taylor's a very good back. I love Jonathan Taylor. He's a Wisconsin Badger guy, so, obviously I've seen him his whole college career, watched him throughout the NFL and whatnot. But you have Derrick Henry, Derrick Henry is better than Jonathan Taylor. Let's don't even be biased. If you're a Colts fan, if you're a Badgers fan, Jonathan Taylor does not stack up to Derrick Henry. If you have Derrick Henry versus that Bills defense, we may see Derrick Henry just dominate that game. Again, if it's the Bills. The Chiefs, I think it'll be a little different. I think it'll be possibly a little harder to run. I still think, you could give the ball to Derrick Henry and he could run down the Chiefs' throat too. But just, looking at how the Bills handled the run, against Jonathan Taylor, against the Patriots running backs, just recently down the end stretch of the regular season, Derrick Henry, especially if you get it kind of cold in Nashville and it's, I guess, the Bills are used to the cold, but, you get it kind of cold and it's like a running game or it's like a snowy game where it's, you got to pound that rock. Derrick Henry can do that. So, no one's talking about it. I'm just going to put out my pick because I'm just sucking off the Titans right now. I'm picking the Titans to beat the Bengals. I think this is an underrated matchup. This is an underrated Titans team. I don't get why people are not talking about them. I don't get it. It makes no sense. They're a good team. They're a great team. They deserve the 1 spot, and they can beat Mahomes. They can beat Josh Allen. And they're going to be at home. The winner, if the Titans win, the winner of Buffalo, Kansas City goes to Nashville, too. So, I don't, you're not on the road. You're going to have your home crowd with you. So, it's just, God, I'm going to get off my soapbox here, but just, the Titans are a good team. No one is talking about them, and we're just going to move on here. So, the other NFC game here, the Rams head to face Tampa. I'm going to put it up right now. I have the Rams winning a tight game. I think the Rams win by a last-second field goal, 38-35. I'll put that score up. I think it'll be decently high scoring. I think there's potential of Fournette coming back. I think Ronald Jones has a chance to come back. I could be wrong. Obviously, you still have Gronk. You still have Mike Evans. The other wide receivers that have went down since, or that have, gotten to play more times since Godwin went down and whatnot. Scottie Miller underrated. I mean, you can see what he did last year against the Packers. And, I think they'll have weapons for Tampa. But I think you're going to have Ramsey on Evans. So I think there's potential that Ramsey shuts down Evans. And then you're going to have, linebackers on Gronk. I think, they might not be able to shut him down, but I think you'll be able to contain him enough. You're going to have Aaron Donald pressuring. You're going to have Von Miller pressuring. I mean, you have a bunch of guys up front that are just going to get pressure. You don't have Tristan Wirfs. I think, was it their center got injured too or something? Or wasn't full strength or whatever against the Eagles or something. So, the O-line is banged up. I don't see Tristan Wirfs playing. He went back in, and, I respect him for going back in and trying to play, but you could just tell when he came back in that second time, like, he could barely stand on his foot. So, I don't see Tristan Wirfs playing. He might try to push himself, but he looked very hurt, and, I mean, again, if you can't stand on it, then that's just not going to be good. So, I think you got to rest him no matter what, because he just does not look healthy at all. I know he's a vital asset to that O-line for the Bucs, but I mean, you don't want him to break his leg or something, or make it even worse than what his leg already is. So I don't see Tampa playing him at all. I don't think it gets cleared by the medical staff. I don't see it. So that's why I think, the defense is going to carry this team. I mean, I guess it could be pretty high scoring. I did say 38-35, and then I went on to talk about the defense a lot. So maybe Maybe 31-28. Maybe we'll go a little lower. I think I like that a little more. I think it'll be, offenses will be slinging it. I think defenses, I think it'll come down to can, LA's defense stop Brady enough, and I think they can. So, yeah, that's I'm going with LA because I just think that they match up really good. Like, I think Tampa. If you're Tampa, this is the team you did not want to see. I think you could beat the Niners. I think there's a possibility. I think you could always also beat the Packers. Obviously, you showed that last year. I think you have the Rams coming to town. This is the team that I think you don't want to see. If I'm a Bucs fan, this was the worst case scenario right here. Especially after that thrashing that they gave Arizona last week. So I just think that this is the worst team. I think they match up the best against the Bucs. Next, this is game of the week. This is up there for game of the year. This is probably going to be top 10 game of the year. These other three matchups, very good matchups. I love all three of these matchups, but you have Josh Allen versus Patrick Mahomes. This is round 2. Last year in the playoffs, round 1 was in the AFC Championship game. This time it's to go to the AFC Championship game. And I have Josh Allen winning round 2 this year. I think this will be a rivalry for years in the playoffs. I think this will be the next Peyton Manning, Tom Brady rivalry in the AFC. I think that Josh Allen wins round 2. I think Stephon Diggs, you saw those pictures last year of Stephon Diggs just watching them celebrate. I think he's going to want to, scorch the earth. He's going to want to say, hey, what you did last year, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen, and we're going to beat you this time. Obviously, the Bills have, I believe is it the number 1 overall defense, I believe. Chiefs defense is, if we're going of the 8 defenses left, they might be worst of the 8, possibly. They're up there. They're down there at the bottom of the list. I think. It's real. Again, Bills have a good defense. I think Packers, when they get a lot of people back, that defense could be really good to have a lot of superstars back. Rams defense, very good. Bucks defense, it's hard to run on the Bucks defense. I guess their corners are, a little iffy. But the Bucks defense is pretty good. Niners defense, I think, is pretty good. But if they lose Bosa and Fred Warner, I think that kind of knocks them down. Bengals defense, I think, is decent. I think I might have to rank the Chiefs defense as last of the 8 teams here. So, yeah, I do. I think this one's going to be a shootout, though. I think Patrick Mahomes and that offense is going to figure out, we know how to dissect this team. It might take us 2 quarters. It might be down 14, but I think they're going to figure out how to dissect. I think this is going to be a shootout. I could honestly see, 42-45. I could really see, a high-scoring shootout here despite, again, Bills' defense is very good. But I think, they might start out a little slow, but I think the Chiefs' offense is going to figure out by the second quarter, by the third quarter, we know how to dissect this team now. We're just going to sling it. I believe Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out for the year. I don't think he's supposed to be coming back for any games, even if they make it to the AFC Championship game. So I think whoever they have at running back, well, maybe he isn't running back. I don't remember. I feel like he's injured and then he's not injured. So whoever's at running back, I guess you could try running the ball on that Bills defense again. Jonathan Taylor did it. I think Derrick Henry could easily do it. So, I think there's a possibility that, not as good as, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, but there's potential you could try to stop the run. So, get a run game going. But I just see, I see Josh Allen getting the ball last. I see him going for a game-winning drive. So, those are my 4 teams. Moving on. So, if I go 4-0, the NFC Championship game would be LA and Green Bay and Buffalo at Tennessee. I think both these games would be very good. If you're Buffalo and you have to go to Tennessee, Derrick Henry, who again he's coming off some fresh legs, I think he's gonna have a decent day against the Bengals. Maybe they don't play him a bunch of snaps, but I think he'll get enough snaps where it's this man's fresh, this man's good to go. He's Derrick Henry, who's who we remember. And then again, if it's Packers Rams rematch of earlier this year, obviously I think very good game. I think it'd be a fun NFC Championship game there. Both teams, I think both teams would be pretty healthy. Again, barring any injuries that happen division round, which I don't want any. I want everyone out there to, stay out there, be healthy, and I don't want anyone to get injured. But I think NFC would probably be better. I just think with the amount of talent you have on both teams, I think the NFC would be a better matchup between the AFC and NFC Championship games. Despite, again, I think that would be an underrated matchup though. Bills Titans again. They played, I think it was like week 3 or whatever. Like they played very early on. And so, I think that would be a fun, underrated game. But just, again, LA, Green Bay, again, I think that's going to get a lot more focus on it. So, I'm ready. If this is the 4, then both the Bucks and the Chiefs would be knocked out, which means both the defending Super Bowl champions and the defending AFC championship, AFC title contenders team would be eliminated in the divisional round, which means we would have a new NFC champion and we would have a new AFC championship champion heading into the Super Bowl. So again, these are my 4 predictions. Hopefully I go right. I'm 6-0 so far. For now though, like the video, share the video around, don't forget to subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.